Hey guys, it's Gail with Everything Nash speaking to the fabulous Lee Brice. We haven't talked in last time we talked was during COVID, so it's been a hot minute.
It has. Man, COVID. Wow, that was a blur.
Let's just keep that in the past. Let's talk about new
Yeah.
things. Your song that's out, I love this new song, Drinkin Buddies. And I love especially that you have two newish artists on it. So talk about that.
Well, you know, I got pitched this song, and um, I didn't even, first of all, it's kind of funny because I didn't know there were two artists on it. I got pitched the song. I hit play on my phone, and as soon as I even got about halfway through the first chorus, I just stopped it, and I texted the publisher who sent it to me. I said, "Put it on hold. I'm cutting this. Oh my gosh." He said, "Oh man, that's great." He said, "Oh man, who do you think you're gonna get on there? What girl?" I said, "What are you talking about? What girl?" And he said, "Well, I mean, the second verse." I said, well, I didn't even get to the second verse." But so I went and listened, and then lo and behold, there's a girl in the second verse, and the first, which even makes the song better to me because it's not just a couple dudes talking about sitting around drinking. There's this camaraderie between guys and girls, and usually when you have a guy and a girl in a song, it's like a love song or I miss you song or go away song or whatever. But this was like this camaraderie that I haven't heard in a song before, really. I mean, between a guy and a girl. And so, it had Nate on there. We didn't have Nate on there yet. And so I started thinking, and a lot of times when you do decide, when you're trying to find out who's going to be on a song like that, a lot of times it has to do with, like in my case, this was going to be the first single, no matter what. So I was like, there's a little bit of a timing issue, so sometimes artists are in a different spot in their rotation of songs or records or whatever. And so their schedules really lined up for it. When I got in touch with Nate and Haley, and their schedules lined up for it. Obviously they love the song. And I was like, please, and I kind of got lucky, I guess, with both of them, but definitely with, Nate too. It was like, he didn't have a number one yet, and about 8 weeks after he was on the song, he had about an 8-week number one. So it was really cool, and it just worked out. And then we had so much fun going to the video shoot. It wasn't even supposed to be a video shoot; it was supposed to be just content day, and we had so much fun. We ended up getting a full video out of it.
Yeah, it's a great video. I'm sure, I know your buddy Jared Neiman produced it. I'm sure you didn't have any fun in the studio at all. I love him, and you can tell him I said that. I adore him.
I will. Jared is just a brilliant mind. We've been making music together for years anyway. And so we started kind of just making some music together in my studio on a friend of ours. And it just turned out so great. And we had so much fun. We're like, let's just do this forever. So yeah, I brought him onto the team, and myself and Ben Glover and Jared Neiman, we've been making my whole record. And a lot of other records too. So it's been really fun.
What can you tell me about your new album that's coming out?
Well, I'll probably turn it in July, so I'm almost kind of done with it. I've done all the main recording. I could tell you that it's as honest and as hard on my sleeve as I've ever had any record, but I've always done that with every record. I try to beat the last one, and every time I try to do that, it's pretty daunting at first because the last record was pretty good. You know what I mean? And so it's a task to put yourself to try to make even a better record. And, but I think we've done it, and we've got some special stuff on here. I mean, big smashes, but also really special songs. In fact, if somebody said, okay, you can only play one song off your whole new record ever for anybody, what would it be? And it wouldn't be Drinkin Buddies. It wouldn't be the kind of quote hit songs that are on it. It'd probably be a song called When the Kingdom Comes. And it's just a big part of my heart coming out, and I love it. And so, keep your ears open. It's very diverse. The whole record is, like it kind of always is with my stuff. I'm a fan of all kind of music. So a little bit of that comes out in everything I write and produce. So we're excited about it. It'll be out the first year.
Okay. So what is it like for you? Because you're such a fantastic songwriter. Deciding, okay, these are the songs that I wrote, but also I like these outside songs. How do you find that balance?
Well, I mean, me and myself and my pride, I'd love to write every single song on my record. And I mean, I could, I guess, but I came to town in the old school time when there were songwriters in town that were there to be songwriters and to write songs because they are true great songwriters. And so I came to town hearing hundreds of songs all the time. You know what I mean? Every day, everybody's writing songs. And all the artists didn't necessarily write. You know what I mean? I did write because I've been writing since I was 10 years old, you know, writing songs. But I just believe in the fact that you go look at Garth Brooks, you know, and a couple of songs he didn't write, his career might be a different career without. You know what I mean? Friends in Low Places, The Dance. So if you're talking about following in some footsteps, it's like, okay, well, if Garth Brooks is a great songwriter. He wrote most of everything else on his records. I just always believed in going to those people, going to that well in Nashville and finding great songs. And so every now and then, every record, it seems to be one or two or three songs just smash me, you know, and I go, well, duh, I drive your truck. Here you go. You know what I mean? And so it's always worked. And I feel good about, because we listen to 1,000 songs or 2,000 songs every time we make a record. So we get all over town. We get around, and if every song was as good as those songs, I might not write any on my record. So I just keep it open.
Okay, so you brought up "I Drive Your Truck," which I love that song. I actually 15 years ago, maybe more, I was a song plugger, and John Ozier played that song for me as soon as it came in. I was sitting in Curb in John Ozier's office. He didn't like any of the songs I pitched him, but he was like, "But you've got to hear this song." So that's a great song, by the way. You're touring a lot on your own. You're going out with Dirks. How do you pick what songs? I mean, Lee, my goodness, you could do a 5-hour set.
Well, it's tough. But you know, I want to play all the music that everybody wants to hear, but I also got new stuff, and so it's worked out so well. You know, we got 10 or 12 hits, you know, on the radio, and after that, I get to kind of just have fun and keep the band happy and keep myself happy as far as like playing some new stuff every year, but really dialing it in. You know, I got a great band. They've been with me for 15 plus almost 17 years, a couple of them. And so we just try to keep it fresh, you know, and like this week, like I just got interrupted. I've got a couple songwriter buddies out, and one just came up on the bus just now. And like normally, sometimes I might go, hey, well, I've written this and I got this songwriter and I wrote this with them. We'll play that tonight. You know what I mean? Sometimes we do that. So they can see their song live on the song, like see how it impacts, you know?
So going out with Dirk said that he's looking forward to this tour because he's going out with Chase for some dates and you with some dates. Like he super specifically picked the two of you. Talk about being out on the road with him.
Well, from day one, and I mean day one, like in my career, like in a van, driving ourselves all over the country, pull on a U-Haul trailer, we got to go out with Dirks early on. And opening act. I mean, like, and on the way there, I got a phone call from I didn't know the number. And it was Dirks, the headliner, you know, the man, it's his tour. And he was like, hey, Lee, what's up, man? You know, I'm like, yeah, he's like, it's Dirks. I'm like, whoa, well, hey. And he's like, hey, man, we'll see you in a little bit. You just want you to know, you need anything, if anything's wrong, you let me know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going. And so in my mind, I thought every headlining artist would call all the opening artists before the shows and make sure they were okay. And, you know, because that's how Dirks is. And that stuck with me. I've always believed in treating people right and treating people like better than you want to be treated. But that was a good example, seeing it in the business right off the bat. And he's never changed. Not one little fiber of a muscle. He's the same guy. He's fun, obviously. Everybody knows that. And his music always was. I was a fan of his music. I think him and I had some similar influences, you know, kind of coming up, musical influences. And so I'm a fan of his music. And so yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute, and I've definitely got a little little different career now than I did then when we were in the band. But so it'll be fun to get out there with him again. I miss it.
Well, I'm hoping to come out. Okay, last question. I have to let you go. You are a singer and songwriter. You're also a proud husband and father. Talk about your family a little bit.
Well, they have single-handedly put priorities here recently. You know, it's like I go on the road a lot, you know, and they're at ages right now, 3 kids. My oldest is 15.
No.
15. Dakota's 15 years old.
Remember when you announced that you're going to be a dad? That's crazy. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
He's about to be 16.
That's just dumb.
And so I know that's like and then Riker is a 10. He's 10, and my little girl is about to be 7, June the 2nd. And they're at ages they miss daddy. I miss them, and it matters to me. So I've really like I could show you. You know, I've got a full studio here on the bus.
Oh wow.
So I'll have drums set up and B3 and bass and guitar. We've got all the mics and headphones and everything we need right here in my bus, so that when I get home off the road, I've already gotten a lot of work done. In other words, I don't have to go back into the studio and do everything. I mean, some things I kind of need to do there, tracking days and stuff, but we do a lot of work out here on the road, so that when I get home, I can home and not just be like, well, I'm home, but I'll be at the studio, you know. And so that's been a big thing. But a priority, less shows, home more, as much as I possibly can be. Doesn't mean I don't want to play the shows. I don't want to play the shows. I want to be home with them, you know. I mean, all of them. We used to play 200 shows a year, you know. I just can't do that anymore. You know, I have to honor myself and honor my family. And it's been great.
All right. Well, I could talk to you all day. It's so good to see you. I have to let you go because you have to talk to other people. Big hugs from me to you, Lee. Always a pleasure.
All right. Talk to you soon. I'll take
Bye,
care
sweetie.
of you.